Hey everyone, good morning, Creator Mom. Happy Monday and happy Memorial Day. I want to read from Richard Dott's book called Dissolve the Problem by Shifting Physical Reality. I love Richard Dott. I love his writings. They feed and definitely are edifying to me. So I want to share this. He says, one common objection that people have is, quote, I can't just ignore my problems and do nothing about them. They will not just go away if I stop thinking about them. Exclamation mark. End of quotation. How often do we hear that? All the time. All right. The truth is exactly the opposite, he says. Your problems will go away if you stop thinking about them altogether. Why am I so sure? I have both the science and personal experience to back it up, and I am sure you have experienced the truth of these teachings at certain points in your life as well. When you soften the insistence of a problem and drop any references to it in your daily life, whether through speech or your thoughts, you are not doing nothing. You are stopping yourself from doing the wrong thing, which is to perpetuate the problem as it has always been. Therefore, eliminating all thoughts and mentions of a problem is the best thing that you can possibly do in the beginning. You are creating space for change to happen in your life. Most people think that they have to be the ones to come up with a solution and to make it happen. This misguided view stems from our action-oriented ways of living. For most of the perceived problems in our life, all we need to do is to stop our miscreating. In other words, all that is required of us is that we stop engaging in our negative manifestations. That is all there is. If we stop negatively creating, then the universe, or God, will step in and do the other half. When we are not actively blocking what we desire with these negative manifestations, what we want can finally come into our lives. When I worried about my financial situation in the early days, I was doing a whole lot of negative creation without even realizing it. I thought I was proactive and solution orientated when in fact, all my negative thoughts from the moment I woke up to the moment that I fell asleep at night were creating my situation of financial lack. I just didn't know I had so much creative power in me to create such an undesired reality. The same is true for you as well. There is so much creative power in you right now that you can create whatever reality you wish. The fact that certain issues persist in your life means that something is holding them in place. Someone is continually channeling precious energy towards the situation, which is what keeps the situation as it is. Just as your freezer has to continually supply energy to keep the ice cubes in their solid state, your existing reality perpetuates its current state only through your continued thoughts, words, and deeds. The person who is directing this massive flow of energy is you. Cut off the electricity supply or take the ice cubes out of the freezer, and they melt into water in no time. The same goes for the perceived problems in your own life. You need to cut off that energy stream which sustains the current state of affairs. The good news is that the only person who can direct this powerful stream of creative energy is you. There is no one else who can do it for you, for no one else can ever create on your behalf. It may seem tempting at first glance to blame others for the problems that are in your life. Just as you can attribute the frozen ice cubes to the ice cube trays that hold everything in place, you can say the tray is what causes these ice cubes, which I do not want. But a much faster way will be to cut off the electricity supply. Without electricity, the cubes cannot remain frozen despite the tray that holds the water in place. Similarly, it is tempting to ascribe your problem to external people and circumstances. Two things happen when you do so. First, you are taking a long roundabout route to solving your problems. Sure, you may be able to physically eliminate all the undesirable conditions contributing to the issue, But how much effort would that take? Would it even be possible to control every single condition in your life? This is what many people try to do when they physically solve the problem. They are setting themselves up to do the impossible. There is not enough physical action we can take to change the world. Second, why take this long detour when you can go right to the root of the issue? A faster way will be to simply stop directing any creative energies to the situation. Stop supplying the energy, and your current situation dissolves right before your eyes. It is as simple as that, but most people do not do it because they do not realize the inherent creative power within themselves. It takes an incredible amount of mental energy to perpetuate any situation in our lives. This is particularly true for undesired and problematic situations, since we both have to unconsciously prop up the situation and consciously fight against it at the same time. This constant 95% battle that goes on inside most people is what wears them out, both mentally and physically. It is little wonder what problems sap our energy and leave us drained at the end of the day. When you finally free yourself from worrying and feeling fearful about the problem, you free up a significant portion of your creative energies, which can then be put to better use. You'll be surprised at how much energy and bounce you have when you drop the perceived problems from your life and free yourself from the need of obsessing over them. So earlier in this book, he's not talking about denying that there is a problem, because that also takes energy and can create like negative energy when you're like, no, that doesn't exist. He's not saying to do that either. So he's saying, don't stay in this solution-oriented mindset, and then then let worry and obsession come, and don't go to the other side and be like in denial. But he's saying drop it from your attention and be in a state of neutrality, be in a state of peace about it. Obviously he's referring to a problem that you don't know how to solve, not something that's easily solvable that you know how to solve. All right, guys, I just wanted to share that. I love Richard Dodds. Peace.